Cheer up, Shorty. This is the year of the Scot.
The year of the Scot, my ass. It's more like the year of the screw-up.
Chase. Shorty, I tell you, she's out there. Nessie's out there someplace. I bet my last jug of scotch on it.
Oh, you will, huh?
Yeah.
You know just enough about this crap to make an ass out of yourself. But I don't have to go with you. This was gonna be the big score, wasn't it, Red? We were gonna come to Scotland and bring back Nessie, when no one's been able to do it for 1,400 years. We begged, we borrowed, we stole every piece of gear we could get our hands on, and all we got was a lot of Scots talking about their bloody ancestors. Hell, even the broads here don't put out. Unless you ask them to marry you. Jesus Christ, look. All right.
Ready to go?
That you, Professor?
Aye, aye. Is that our new Nessie watcher?
The very same. A Spencer Dean from the University of Texas. He's already asked
Good,
for
good.
you.
I'll be right over. Just let me tie this gear down.
the devil is Shorty?
Shorty won't be coming back.
What the hell do you mean by that?
Ah, forget him. We hit the jackpot, man. Yeah. We're rich, Pratt. You hear me, you silly son of a bitch? We're rich!
Brad, we've been through some nasty times together, you and I, but I think this monster business is really getting to you.
I ain't crazy, Pratt. Now, you listen up. We found Nessie's letter down there, Shorty and me. First we seen her. Then we went down there and we found her and a whole lot more. There's a couple of dead Nazis in a bomber or something. You know, World War II stuff. And then the monster come after us and got Shorty. But we got the whole card, man. We got something better than Nessie herself. We got her egg. How about that, huh?
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. All we get around here are tour buses and Nessie detractors. A little scientific banter would be very welcome right now, even from a Yank.
Well, with your reputation, I think I'll leave the science to you. And as for the Yank, well, the best I can do is Houston, Texas.
You're too modest. All of us here have been following your experiments with side-scan sonar. We're very interested to find what it can do here.
Let's have a look at the boat.
After that, we'll have to get some more. What I'm concerned about now is how we get it out of here, huh?
How about if we just drive it the hell out of here?
How do you crazy, man? The slightest vibration and you destroy the embryo. And there goes your golden egg. All right. Just hope the membrane is still intact.
What are we gonna do?
Pray, man. Pray! That is, if you still remember how to pray. You look tired, Dad. Get some rest. I'll take the first watch.
I've told you about some of the seasonal oddities who frequent Loch Ness. But the one that takes the cake is the mad Scotsman of Killiecrankie Island. He lives there in the ruins of Killiecrankie Castle, a hermit. He was a piper with the Glencoe Guards. You Americans would say he's off his rocker.
Dangerous?
What would you say about an old man who plays out battles long since forgotten? Who has a collection of old weapons he guards like a mother hen? They say he even talks to Nessie.
Well,
Well, no. I am impressed. Isn't it amazing what money can do? A gift to the school?
Courtesy Bandera Oil. It's a big Texas outfit.
Aye. You know, there was a time when I resented the royal family with their country places and their horses and such, until somebody told me how many people they employed. A lot of good has to come out of that.
Well, there was a time I was angry about the oil profits. Then the school got this grant, and I got the most expensive toy a scientist could ever have.
Elegant. Where do you plan to start scanning the Loch?
Well, I was about to ask you that. I don't even know what the water rules are here.
The man who lives over there might just have the answer.
Is he a friend of yours?
Right. Jack Stewart. He knows this Loch like his own bathtub. He grew up there in the old manor. Crusty old bird. A throwback to medieval Scotsman. An endangered species, I might add. I just hope he likes you. There's two things I want to warn you about. It was Stewart who took one of the early photographs of Nessie, the silhouette.
With the Kodak?
Aye, with the Kodak. He was called a crank for a quarter of a century. There's the manor.
But the negative was documented as authentic, not a fake.
True, but the crazy Scot image stuck. So he turned his back on what he called vile man. However, if he takes to you, he just might show you the trophy room.
You said there were two things you wanted to warn me about.
Is Kathleen a little on the feisty side? She doesn't like Yanks.
It's unlocked. I didn't say it was open, but I said it was unlocked. Never been locked against man or beast. If it were unlocked and you meant Muharram, you'd only go by window. So if your business be peaceful, make your face known. Ah, George!
Jack Stewart, I want you to meet a new colleague of mine from the United States, Spencer Dean.
Oh, another Nessie watcher. Good God in heaven, don't you Americans ever give up?
Well, you never did.
You know, the young man's right, Jack.
I built a fire in the trophy room. For some odd years, I've seen him come and go.
Aye, Jack, aye.
The summer people, expensive gear, their boats and their platforms, the cost of which would feed an army. And for what? You see that? That on the mantle? That's me Kodak. Me Kodak which cost £1.10. The Kodak what took the first picture. It's printed in all the books, and we are royalty, I might add. For 30 years, they called me a fraud.
Now, Jack Stewart, if you will just calm down, I want to tell you about my friend here. He has come with new revolutionary sonar equipment. It's the one thing that will help us to find Nessie.
To find her, eh? To help find her. And what are you gonna do when you find her? Put her in a sideshow, a freak to be laughed at? Do you have an answer for that?
Yes, I do have an answer to that, sir. There are a lot of people who would exploit Nessie for what Americans call the fast buck. But for 1,400 years, people have been seeing Nessie, or rather a whole family of Nessies, And some of these people have been dedicated scientists like Dr. Sanderson here, who think that she should be studied if she is to be protected, if she is to be preserved.
Preserved? Preserved? It sounds like you want to pickle her in vinegar. Away with you. Away with you.
We want to keep her alive, as you do. Alive and free, right here in Loch Ness. Nessie is the greatest unsolved mystery of our time.
They call her a monster.
Well, what is a monster? It isn't easy to achieve monster status. We need your help. That Nessie out there could be the last.
The way you put it makes a man want to reach for the elixir of life. Kate! Kate!
Wouldn't you like to find Nessie?
Aye, before I die. There'll be guests here who need attention.
What he means is he's found another excuse to break up on another bottle.
Kathleen, I want you to meet... What was your name, lad?
Spencer.
Mr. Dean is a Yank from the States.
Is it true, Mr. Dean, that Americans go to the picture house more than once a month and spend a lot of time looking at magazines of naked women?
Yes. And this?
This be a sketch by a medical student who saw Nessie the same year as snapped the photograph. Reliable source to my mind.
But that animal is out of water. It's crossing a road.
Aye, and it was not the first sighting on land, nor the last. What of it, Mr. Dean? Nessie is amphibious. There was ne'er doubt to my mind. lass from Scotland. She did, she married me bonny lass from Scotland.
Let's start it again.
Oh, you said. She did, she married me bonny lass from Scotland. You ask me where I would look if I had your fancy scones and sonars. Well, for one, avoid the bay. And I wouldn't hunt for Nessie, where the river Inn comes into the loch. All you'll find there is salmon. Start at the mouth of the river Fairgate.
Fairgate.
She asked me to marry her. She did, she married me.
Imagine me, if you will, the professor who gets the last laugh. To hold in my hand the very synthesis of the mystery of life. People from all walks of life trying to snare you. And they'll come by the carloads to wherever I dictate. For it is I, Professor Pratt, who will write the last thesis on the Loch Ness monster. And they'll pay, aye, they'll pay dearly.
It looks very much like a PBY. World War II. There's been one found here before, but it is not one of ours. The War Office in London might be very interested in this. The train to London stops at Drumnadrochit. With your permission, I would like to put these tracings on board. We could have a response in a matter of hours.
Be my guest. This is only paper.
Well, it's not Nessie, but we could have a significant find.
Well, do we head for port?
Aye, Lieutenant. Full ahead. I figured we've been violating curfew for about 6 hours. Port it is, before they throw us off the loch.
In here. Will you get out of here? Everyone's gonna know what you're up to.
Oh, I'm up to it, all right. I've been up to it ever since the beginning of this tour. Everyone's worrying about ham and eggs right now. There's no better time. Man.
Ow. Don't.
Hey!
Very happy to see our Romeos could take time out to have breakfast with us. We wouldn't want you to run out of steam. Body culture is very important. But just so we don't neglect the mind entirely, we do try to arrange for lectures from time to time on our tour. We are camped on the most famous lake on the entire globe, so perhaps you'll all be happy to hear that we've arranged for a fireside talk this evening with Dr. George Sanderson. In your eagerness, I know you must all be asking, who is Dr. George Sanderson? He's only the most famous marine biologist in the United Kingdom. Lecture 6 o'clock pronto, and that means 6 o'clock.
Top of the morning to you. I said top of the morning to you. Why didn't you answer me?
They say that in Ireland.
Would you settle for a salute?
I'd settle for a proper hello, if it wouldn't be too American.
Hey, wait. Hello. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having. Look, it's a beautiful day. I was just about to take the boat out, and I would love for you to be my guest.
Me get on that monstrosity?
Be careful now. Any mention of monsters is taboo.
I've never been on the Loch without a chaperone, and I don't like fast boats.
Do you mean to tell me that you have never had the wind tear up your hair? A stinging spray so fine, makes you shut your eyes. Did you know that you can actually have a race with the sun? Or the moon, for that matter? Take the wheel.
But,
Take the wheel.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
I don't swim.
What?
I cannot swim.
Hold her steady. Right there. Hold her steady. I think I just made contact with Nessie. I'm sorry. All right, no more pranks. I'm sorry, I just couldn't let this one get by. It is real blood. It's purely for scientific reasons. You see, we have to find out what is not in the lake to make sure that the sightings are not seals or sharks. So we trail fish or blood, which is better. These canisters are loaded with blood, and they're designed to explode or leak at a certain depth because of the pressure. If there are any seals or sharks, they'll follow that scent. Then we just echo sweep the same area till we get a strip shot.
Spencer Dean,
Yes?
we're worlds apart, you and I. Worlds apart.
Do you ever wear a dress?
Dresses are for church weddings, or when a girl has a devil in her. Or, nay, for the pictures.
The pictures?
What the English gentry called the cinema.
Well, how about shorts? How about walking shorts?
I could never bring myself to pay full price for part of garment. Besides, it's sinful.
Sinful?
A girl should never show that much thigh. Except to her betrothed. And then only after the vows.
Well, I can see I have to have you back before dark.
But there'll be no darkness today.
No dark?
Or at least not for hours. The light from the Highland sun tarries close to midnight. It's a blessing for the God-fearing and the working class. Not so for the people in your country with their pagan ways. Grandpapa says Americans love the dark rather than the light, because their ways are wicked.
Worlds apart. Worlds apart.
You're all pretty familiar with the home of the beastie, so we'll go quickly through those facts. Your Miss Stovall has told me that you've been around most of the Loch. And you know that it is 22 miles long and about 970 feet deep. Use of echo soundings enable us to sketch a 30-foot creature moving about 480 feet below the surface of the Loch and traveling at about 17 miles per hour. These photographs that you've been looking at were proven genuine by the Space Administration in the United States and the British Museum of Natural History. Otters and manatee have been offered from time to time as possible candidates. An otter can go 800 feet down and take its oxygen from the surrounding waters. But they are not aquatic. We come closer with the seal, but for one thing, they bring forth their young on the land, on ice floes. The monster could be an invertebrate, without a backbone, a worm if you must. Dead end here. They simply don't get big enough. Is Nessie a reptile? The no votes say the lake is just too cold, 42 degrees, and reptiles don't like cold water. Particular species could have adapted themselves to this low temperature. Now, this is a good thought. Reptiles have become mammals, and some turtles have a remarkable adaptability to change of temperatures. That brings us to the closest thing the scientists can agree on. An amphibious reptile, similar to the plesiosaurus. Features corroborated by the sighting. Flippers, a hump, long neck, like salmon, is 20 feet or longer, believed to be a fast swimmer, and gives birth to its young in the water both as pups and as eggs. Perhaps the strangest of all forms could be swimming out there in that loch. And we have watched them for 1,400 years.
Hey, Professor.
You have a question?
How does Loch Ness Monster get it on? I mean, if there's only one out there, how do they make babies?
Professor, isn't it true that some sea slugs are hermaphrodites?
Aye, that's true. Many are spontaneous hermaphrodites. That is, they function as both male and female.
Yeah, but how do they get it on?
The coupling cannot be called in the vernacular a quickie.
I've made sonar slices of the aircraft from every angle, and what appears to be the tracings of the ancient campfire sites found by Dr. Kleinhinge in 1957. This Furano gear is light years improved over the old method.
You must be daft. What would anyone be doing with a campfire down there?
Well, there's nothing mysterious about that. They've been read by sonar before, but just not with this clarity. You see, when the loch was lower, much lower, hunters of that time built fires here, and they cooked food like the first McDonald's.
McDonald's? The McDonald's from Stirlingshire? Glory be. The wonders never cease.
Well, I hope not. But until they do, I think we better return to the real world from a very angry grandfather. Not sure, but activity here. This must be a cave. Possibly a whole series of caves. Oh, God damn it.
Never use profanity on the loch. It's bad luck.
Kathleen, this is no time for your Highland superstition. We are tracing the last real mystery on this globe.
Well, I will not stop warning against using the Lord's name in vain.
I was not taking God's name in vain. I was merely asking God to damn the fact that our strobe cameras cannot reach that depth. We've got to stay here and get this until we can get a strobe shot.
One of the legends of the Loch is that it never gives up its dead. What do you mean by that?
The waters of the Loch, as I told you, are cold, therefore also acidic, and there is not much bacteria. That means there is little vegetation. As a result, anything that dies, it could be a person, it could be the beastie, when they go to the bottom, they do not rot and form gases that cause them to bloat and rise to the surface. Instead, the bodies just sink to the bottom of the lake. They become covered with mud or silt, of which there is a great deal on the bottom. And this is the legend. The Loch never gives up its dead. All right, that's enough for the night. It's now fun and games.
See? Wouldn't that be something? Make it in the ruins of an old castle?
So how do you get out there?
Well, we could steal that boat. We'd be out and back before anyone would know. Come on.
But they say that the old man is mad. He's a crazy weirdo.
Oh, come on now. You don't believe that crap, do you? Every goddamn castle in Scotland is supposed to have an old ghost. It's just like your Loch Ness monster. Just another way of separating the tourist from his bucks. Then let him watch. Maybe he'll learn a few things.
Are you sure you've no seen or heard from her? Ne'er a word? All right, thank you. You say you should not be worried. Of course I should be worried. Kathleen has ne'er been away after dark. Only to the pictures, and 'tis not the last Saturday in the month. Oh, the devil in young men, I should know. Daughter, I know I swore before you passed on that I would look after your baby. But what could an old grandfather do? The world is not the way you left it. I'll tell you, Patricia, during the last years, I ne'er went beyond good Scotch whiskey. And that just to keep away the chill.
Platform 1, this is Wet Bottom. Come in. Platform 1, this is Wet Bottom. Come in. 24 hours, I find what he's been searching for years, and I can't even raise him on the horn.
You don't need this.
I'm cold, Fred.
Well, I'll keep you warm.
I don't know.
Sure you know. A little surprise. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
No. So pretty.
I don't know.
Sure you know.
They're coming to the glen, sir. Shall we hold our fire? Let me at them, sir. Remember Glencoe, the wanton slaughter. Fred! At the rocks, at the rocks. I'm going to tear that entrance out!
Damn it.
There you go again.
Kathy, this is serious.
Well, so's my upbringing.
Okay, now be careful and hurry. After all, I'm responsible for you.
I can take care of myself, thank you.
I know that. All the same, I'd like to see you in a dress.
Get some blanket. Here, lie down, lass. Here. That's all right. That's all right. Cover it up. You'll be all right now.
Fred.
Easy, lass, easy. There's a bag on my platform. Go get it. Cover it up.
Look, we're on to you, friend. The guy just wanted to split. So what? Throw you in the drink?
That's enough out of you. This girl has experienced or seen something very horrible. And I, for one, believe it now. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. That's all right. That's all right. Cover her there. Keep her warm. Easy.
Monster's got He's sick.
It's all right, lass.
It's all right. Take it easy.
I don't want her over-sedated now. We need to know what happened. There'll have to be an inquiry.
This trip hasn't been the most pleasant for her. Brad's been very persistent, and he has threatened to leave several times.
Well, that being the case, you'll want to take her to Prestwick Airport tomorrow. It's not very far. This girl ought to be with her family right now.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm in total agreement with you.
Here, give it one of these in about an hour. That'll make her sleep. I'm going back to the platform and try to raise young Dean by radio again. Platform 1 to Wet Bottom. Can you hear me? Platform 1 to Wet Bottom. Can you hear me? Platform 1 to Wet Bottom. Come in, please. Platform 1 to Wet Bottom. Come in, please.
You know, you're my ticket out of here, lassie. Now, mind you, if you do what you're told, you won't be harmed. I'm not like those two bastards I hired to help me with this project. That stupid Red and that bad American humor of his. 25 thankless, underpaid years lecturing, trying to teach young people like yourself about the world around them. Were they ever interested in the natural sciences? No. Their only interest was copulation. Their only scientific concern not to have babies. Well, now I've hit the jackpot, a way out. Think of the possibilities, lassie. 1,400 years. They've been trying to find some solid proof that Nessie was out there, a good photograph, a flesh sample, anything to prove that she was there. They knew she was there. I knew it. But now I'm the one that's got her. Well, it'll be light soon. The embryo is strong enough to stand the shock now, so we'll travel at daylight.
Shall we interrogate them? No, they'll only be suspicious. Let them go. Have the station closed and post 2 sentries here. Right, sir.
Wake up, Jack. Jack, wake up. Do you hear? I'm looking for Dean. Have you seen him? We're very concerned.
Dean, is it?
is it Dean you're concerned about? How about my granddaughter?
I know nothing about your granddaughter. All I know is we've been trying to reach Dean Barradio and I can't raise him.
Well, I'll raise him, by Dom. I'll raise him to the highest steeple and drum the drenches until he's dead.
I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for everything, but there have been other incidents, and we have to work together to clear them up. Winifred. Mrs. Carey. Aye. This is George Sanderson. I'm calling from the Stewart Manor. Yes. I want you to put me in touch with the constable. Yes. What? Whose orders? But, woman, we are part of that emergency. I need to talk to someone in authority. Yes. Thank you. That's peculiar.
Peculiar? What's more peculiar than what's been going on here?
Telephone Central has orders to keep the lines free and clear for the military. I've been cut off.
Lassie, do you cherish your health? Then listen carefully. I'm a failed man, but when a failed man sees one last chance to grab the brass ring, he becomes a desperate man. Now, you kick this van or try to get attention in any way, I won't hesitate to use this gun. Do you understand? Good.
Morning, gentlemen. Gentlemen, I'm familiar with your weapons, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe you've removed your safety. Don't make a move now.
Well,
There you are, Jack. Do you think they eloped? Americans do that, you know.
Young Dean is very capable, and I don't want you worrying about that anymore.
Derek.
Sir.
I believe your loyalty to our commanding officer is matched by my long friendship to Gregory.
His lordship said go to hell, I'd be the first to get burned.
Good show. I thought as much. Well, ours is a delicate mission, Derek. Very shortly, I think we're going to have a sticky wicket when it comes to our commander's long service to the Crown.
Right, sir.
Well, then. At the lookout piers, close by the Tours base, there's a tradesman by the name of Nicholson, Alex Nicholson. He runs a small shop, rents all kinds of equipment, especially diving equipment. Now, there's nothing particularly remarkable about this man outside of the fact that he happens to be an expert deep diver. And he's familiar with your line of work, Derek, explosives. He has quite a nasty history when it comes to lending his talents for profit. Quite a dossier. Military desertion, several counts of larceny, petty theft. He makes and sells harpoon gear, which is, of course, quite illegal here. And he appears to be quite good at it. So taken all round, I wouldn't be at all surprised with what our Mr. Nicholson is the exact man we're looking for. So, I don't think it'll take too much persuasion to enlist his support. Just do what you have to do. But remember this. The secret of Luftwaffe B-97 is to remain precisely that. Secret.
I'll get it, Jack. I'll get it.
Good morning. Is Jack Stewart here?
He is, sir. Come this way.
Thank you. Now your eyes don't deceive you, Jack.
Lawton. Damn me, is it you?
It's been nearly 40 years.
Oh, and Colonel, no. What is it? Still special services?
Still the same, sir.
Ah, then it was you that ordered the clamp put on the telephone. Colonel, there's a lot going on around here that I don't know, and a lot that you don't know. Perhaps we'd better compare notes.
I'll second that motion, sir. You know, I should like very much to meet the man who took these scans. They're extremely sophisticated, sensitive. Well, I suppose I could, as the Bard once did, pose the question, are we all met?
Some bloke in uniform out there. He thinks he's here for you.
Biopsy harpoon. You know, they say that a piece of Nessie's flesh is worth almost as much as the old girl herself. You are Alex Nicholson. You aren't your welcome in the States. Moved over here and got yourself a cozy little home in Scotland. And a cute little Scottish lass. I have a matter of mutual benefit I wish to discuss with you.
What you Britishers call great expectations, huh?
Absolutely remarkable. Well, gentlemen, this is a red letter day for all of us. You've found your monster, and we've found ours. Luftwaffe B-97.
Leave it to an Englishman to call Nessie a monster. A beastie, maybe. A myth. A wild thing. But not a monster.
Where in God's name have you been, girl?
In my room, of course. Like any dutiful granddaughter.
But I waited all night for you, out of my wits with concern.
You waited up until the decanter was empty. You were dead to the world when I came in. 'Tis not the first time.
Colonel, we're very pleased that you've found your Luftwaffe B, whatever it is. But we are scientists. You can understand our elation. What young Dean has found is the lair of the beastie. That's where our interest lies.
Only fitting and proper that it should, sir. Well, now, you are all entitled to an explanation, I suppose, and I'm prepared to give it. The aircraft lying there in the silt of Loch Ness was one of Hitler's propaganda planes. It had overshot London with its leaflets and came to rest there in the bay. Intelligence has reconstructed the situation as follows. The date, November 7, 1940. The time, about midnight.
You're lying.
What?
You're lying. It was October 6, and the plane did not overshoot London, and it was not a propaganda plane, and it was not carrying leaflets. It was carrying high explosive harbor mines destined for the shipping lanes. You could talk about your intelligence all you want, but I saw that plane go down, and I have devoted much of my life to finding out the facts behind it. And now I'm gonna tell them before my wild thing there puts me in an early grave.
Why have you not spoken up about this before, sir? Withholding that kind of information in time of war, especially for a man in the service, why, that could be treason before the crown.
Truth? Treason? What do these things mean to you? Your whole reason for being here is a smokescreen to cover up the indiscretion of a fellow officer who cannot afford a blemish on his new knighthood. Letters, on papers, on trips, and inquiries. Even my son made a trip to Germany. God rest his soul. Matters at the time were desperate for the British. Hitler's savage U-boat attacks had driven the convoys from America into the North Atlantic and here into the North Channel. Goering conceived a grand plan to mine the North Channel with explosives. Operation Jugular began with one plane here in occupied Norway, across the North Sea, down the Caledonian Canal, the River Ness to Loch End. The plan was to move through the loch and into the North Channel with the mines. But here at Ben Norris, our story took a different turn. The British have always used the loch for training, and at the time, there was an anti-aircraft station here manned by one Donald Gregory. You know him now as Sir Gregory, Member of Parliament, Knight of the Realm. This night, when Luftwaffe B-97 crossed Ben Norris, there was no one at the post. Young Gregory was in Inverness, coupled with a lady of the evening, and bombed out of his mind with 100 proof. Doers, I believe it was. Our story doesn't end there. Being born to the manor has its advantages. Influence of the highly placed is formidable. British intelligence leaked a story to the Germans that the young man at Tar Point had blown the bomber out of the sky. Goering had to abandon his plan to mine the North Channel, and young Gregory began his steady climb to knighthood.
There's a marker, that buoy. The cross-hatch was right.
We're just below Tar Point, opposite Dory's. It's pretty deep here. I can't be down very long.
With these plastics, you better not be. The timer's irreversible. What she said, she goes in 47 seconds. But the important thing is this. You better hear me. This is your story. You were testing a new and your biggest biopsy harpoon. You thought you saw a large aquatic animal. A seahorse, a seal, anything, it doesn't matter. You fired, saw the explosion, you got out fast.
How can you be sure the plastics will explode those mines? They're 40 years old.
There's odd rugby balls down there. The shell is 2.5 inches of German steel made by the Krupp Munition Works. That's the one thing they did right. All right, suit up.
What we're faced with is a few thousand pounds of explosives lying at the mouth of Nessie's lair.
Oh, I don't think the coroner's concerned too much about the explosives. He's made a provision for that. His concern is that no one ever discover that the skin of that aircraft is unblemished. No anti-aircraft, no hits, no tail assembly blown off, no wing tips missing.
Well, now.
Spencer Dean, I have a lot to tell you, and it's not about that plane. It's about Nessie. I want you to promise you won't leave without me.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, you may indulge yourselves in these fantasies.
Your driver go, Colonel?
It's all academic now. I imagine in a matter of minutes, Hitler's B-97 and your precious Nessie will be rubble. Not even a footnote to history.
Spencer Dean, I'm asking you without question to follow me. It's Nessie's egg.
Oh, forgive an old man's indulgence. I was just thinking of the different pathways men choose for themselves. You, George, the scientist, who would find Nessie, analyze her, scrutinize her, cut her up, write your technical papers and explain her all away, all in the interest of science. Perhaps that's good. And you, Colonel, destroy her to hide your dark and shameful secret. Well, I suppose I would leave her be and not let her mystery unravel for another 1,400 years.
Aye, Jack Stewart. You are an endangered species.
what is the sum of it all? You fancy Lord Gregory will retire to his place in Kent, and your professors and your classrooms will have all the parts of Nessie they need for their microscopes. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Spencer Dean? Party and I.
New evidence on the existence of a population of large animals in Loch Ness remove the stigma of crackpot from any scientist or group of scientists who wish to investigate the biological phenomena of Loch Ness.
After the bomb, mankind is near extinction, and robots take over, creating a master race of bionic beings.
By the 1st of next month, we will outnumber the humans.
With human-like passions.
I love you, Esme.
And superhuman strengths.
You are a robot.
Can anyone stop their mechanical mayhem? Creation of the humanoids.
This man is possessed by an evil brain from another planet. Its mission, to rule the universe with its awesome powers.
It'll make the atomic bomb look like a firecracker.
The entire world is at the mercy of this perverted cerebrum.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Never has such a refreshing experience been offered at this or any other cinema. Kiora, on sale at this moment in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your projectionist tonight is Eric, who has a hot, thirsty job, which he does very well, and unlike you, hasn't time to get himself a refreshing drink of Kiora. Thank you.
Full details of programs of this cinema can be seen every day in the Evening Mail, your guide to our programs.
The Metropole is always at your service. There are 2 first-class restaurants, the Terrace Restaurant and the Terrace Grill. A coffee shop open all day, a cocktail bar, and our own local, the Cotswold Arms, which serves an excellent courses for private parties, for 20 guests, up to 1,200 at a banquet. There's a Metropole close to the heart of London's West End. And to get away from it all, the famous Brighton Metropole, with its own health hydro. Please ask for further details at our reception.
At the height of the Mabongo uprising, a garrison of 80 British infantry were surrounded by 30,000 hostile warriors. With just 2 weeks' supply of food and ammunition left, a truce was arranged.
As the cinema audience has been informed, you Brits are going to be kept cooped up in that there fort for the next 2 weeks. Now, these 2 gentlemen are here from the Benson and the Hedges flag-making company in the UK and England, and they think it a jolly good idea to give the old silk cut a bit of a bash for the next fortnight, researching having shown that how long it takes to get used to the amazing mild taste. And that about how long you got.
After 2 weeks of siege and silk cut,
Sorry, man. Hello there. Hello. Well, now you've tried the silk cut for the 2 weeks, how you contemplate the thought of changing to them?
I switch tomorrow, given half the chance, right?
Carry on, Sergeant.
Sorry.
2 packs of the old High-Tar brand or 1 packet of the low-tar silk cut?
Not on your merit.
So, there you have it, folks. Conclusive proof that it do take 2 weeks for you smokers to turn to the mild taste of silk cut. And by the way, if you get problems with those extra stubborn stains, you want to know.
Check.
oh dear. Time for a little gamesmanship with new High Karate gamesman.
Your move.
New gamesman from High Karate. The man who plays to win.
We asked a friend of ours to say a few words about new Castello Court cigars. New quartz from Castello, and the cigar speaks for itself.
the new cubes from Bovril. Have you seen them yet? Well, they're made just the way a good cube should be. Perfect for all your red meat cooking. They're packed with good, meaty flavor and seasoning to bring out the best in your cooking. Bovril made them to crumble easier, dissolve faster, to help make rich, brown gravy they'll love. Believe me, these new cubes from the Bovril people bring out the best in your cooking. Cubes from Bovril. Try them. You'll buy them.
Come on, everybody. Let's go cruising with KTEL's new LP, Summer Cruising. 20 great summer hits with Jan and Dean. The Loving Spoonful.
Summer in the city, back of my neck.
Freddie Cannon. The Magnificent Mercury Brothers.
I got it bad for the new girl in school.
Bay City Rollers, Shangri-La's, Mungo Jerry, Dawn, Gary U.S. Bonds, and lots more. Remember Frankie Ford. The Monkeys Classic. And the Safaris Wipeout. KTEL's Summer Cruising. 20 summer smash hits on this great new LP. Out now. Come on, everybody. Get Summer Cruising from KTEL.
One last time, I have to see this ground. It's beautiful now, as if nothing had happened here. Soon they will tear down the main house, and then nothing will be left. Nothing. Except what I remember. I grew up in the town nearby, where my father was the mayor, and where this house stood, waiting for me. It was built by Wilfred Butler. We had never seen him, and he never lived at home. Until the day before Christmas in 1950, he finally did come back for the last time. All of us believed that his death was an accident. No one knew that another person had come to Butler House that Christmas.
As Deputy Coroner of the County of Arlington, State of Massachusetts, I hereby find, upon evidence of an autopsy conducted by the medical examiner of this county, that the deceased, Wilfred Butler, died as a result of burns inflicted accidentally upon himself on his own premises during the afternoon of December 24th, 1950. No further inquiry shall be held over the body of the deceased, and this inquest is officially closed.
After the coroner's inquest, on New Year's Day, they buried Wilfred Butler. There was no one there to mourn him. It was the funeral of a stranger.
I, Wilfred Butler, being of sound mind and body, at least what the world considers sound, do hereby leave my house and its grounds and all personal effects within that house to my only surviving relation, my grandson, Geoffrey Butler. And I solemnly charge him with one duty. Let him leave the house as I left it, standing untouched to remind the world of its inhumanity and cruelty.
For 20 years, that house lay empty, exactly as Wilfred left it. And then, last year, rumors began that it was finally being sold. The newspaper story traveled through the county to a state hospital for the criminally insane. The man who came to sell the house had never seen it. He was a lawyer from the city, just doing a job and enjoying it.
Stop and look serious, please. Oh, you're hopeless. Oh, look.
Hey, wait, where you going now? The mayor's gonna have a fit, kid.
One more shot.
Come on.
Stay there. I want one together. And smile.
For all the news as it happens, stay tuned to WLIX, your voice of the Northeast. This is Roger Fowler with local stories. First, today's headlines. A warehouse fire still rages in Elizabeth. Police suspect arson. That escaped inmate at Margaretville State Hospital still at large, still hunted by state police. And over in Roxbury, the city passes a controversial housing code.
Well, didn't I tell you? It's beautiful.
Can we see the rest of it?
Honey, that was it. I think the mayor's waiting for me.
My love is such an important man.
Right. Laura always says that.
Darling,
What?
don't be long.
Honey, if you get bored, just look at the view. Sooner or later, that viaduct's gonna take us back home.
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Mayor.
Let me introduce you. This is Charlie Toman, who publishes our weekly newspaper, The Patriot.
Mr. Toman?
And this is Tess Howard.
How do you do?
She operates our switchboard.
Oh, really?
We call her the communications director. And this is Bill Mason.
Mason?
Our sheriff. Won't you sit there, Mr. Carter, at the head of the table?
Thank you. I didn't expect to meet you all together. It's quite a reception. All right, let's begin. As you know, I've been retained by Jeffrey Butler. The matter concerns the house that he inherited from his grandfather, Wilfred Butler.
Go on, Mr. Carter.
I believe that you offered to buy the house for my client.
Offered. We begged him. We wrote letters and
That's
we...
enough, Tess.
Well, it's true.
Trouble. There's always trouble.
I can sympathize.
I spent the last 20 years and more driving people away from there. Prowlers, burglars, kids, they're the worst. Chasing for nothing because of that will. That drivel about humanity. No, no, no. Inhumanity. What the hell is that, huh?
Yes, well, he was a bitter man.
Hate?
It must have been very hard.
It must have been hate.
That man hated. Well, some people are like that.
The question is, well, do you still want the house?
Are you offering it to us, Mr. Carter?
Exactly.
Why now?
Well, that's Mr. Butler's business, isn't it?
You know we're not rich. Most of us came here during the Depression. But we love this town. It's our home.
And naturally, you want to improve it.
Exactly.
My client understands that, and he fully sympathizes, and he's willing to sacrifice the house for $50,000 in cash by noon tomorrow.
That's an awful lot of cash.
It's also an awfully good bargain.
You could go to Wilton. You could go now to the bank.
Am I clearly understood?
All that cash.
Perfect. I'll wait for your answer till tomorrow.
You're spending the night here?
Yes.
May I ask where?
At the Butler House.
We could put you up at the motel as our guest.
No, the house is fine.
The Paradise Motel.
That's very kind of you, but I'm meeting Mr. Butler about some personal items.
You'll want a phone. I can reconnect the line.
Don't trouble, please.
No trouble. You'll need a phone.
Don't want to be stuck out there.
Well, you've convinced me. Thank you.
By the way, have you known Mr. Butler a long time?
No, I've never met him. He called me and asked me if I'd handle this for him. I said yes. He had the key delivered to my office. Mr. Mayor, Sheriff, Mr. Tolman, Miss Howard, see you all tomorrow. In fact, I'm looking forward to it.
Slick, really slick. He's a big lawyer, Bill. You've got to expect that. Don't tell me about lawyers.
Oh, you see the way he looked at us? You see his clothes?
He's doing his job. Just don't tell me about lawyers. You know what I'd like to see? Two of them like that one talking to each other. Neither one of them would know what to believe.
I love you, too. Honey, when I get home, I'm gonna have a nice surprise for you. No, I can't tell you what it is now. It wouldn't be a surprise, now would it? No, I can't come home now, but it'll be very soon. Very soon. Honey, of course I miss you. Yes, I miss Mommy, too. Laura, how are you, kid? So I'll call tomorrow. No, I want to call. I want to talk to Jenny. Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I'm having a fine time. Well, same to you, darling. What do you mean, hostile?
I was wondering, if we get it, what then?
Tear it down.
Okay. I'd better get going. Do me a favor, Tess. Call Diane, tell her I'm going to Wilton, and I'll be back late.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Butler wasn't kidding. Nobody's lived here for years.
That would be such a waste.
It's his grandfather's monument. You know, there's a caretaker who keeps this place just the way he left it.
What kind of monument is this?
Well, that's the trouble. Nobody remembers anymore.
That's what usually happens in America.
I remember this. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I'm his own. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there.
You're not serious.
I used to hear that at funerals.
At funerals?
When I was a kid in Chipley, Georgia. There's also a Chipley, Florida, but they have both been subsequently eradicated from the map. None other has ever known.
Was a delicatessen, so I brought you pastrami, salami, potato salad, macaroni, everything you like.
I'll have bologna and macaroni. No, some of that potato salad. Did you pick the wine, too?
The delicatessen man took a personal interest in its selection.
Oh, well, we got lucky again. That's early 1970. That's hard to come by.
Can I have some, too?
Of course you may.
Thank you. It must have been wonderful.
What?
The people who lived here. They must have had a wonderful life.
Well, I hope they did. Wilfred Butler must have believed in something. Look at that stone fireplace, parquet floor, the mahogany, this table. And you probably think this place is made of wood, right?
Well...
Wrong. You know what his grandson told me? Underneath that wood, there's 2 feet of stone. The foundation is 8 bricks wide. Now, someday they're going to come in here and they're going to tear this place down and they're going to build little tract houses all over this property on quarter-acre and half-acre lots. And that bulldozer's going to come up that hill toward this house. And it's going to get the surprise of its life. They built a kingdom out here. Only nobody's left.
No? Butler has a grandson.
No. He's probably like the rest of us, wants money. You know, he's asking $50,000 cash for this place, and if the only way he can get at least $250,000. But he won't take his time. So he'll get screwed.
Do you want to go upstairs now?
Soon. You know, one of the great pleasures in life is the pleasure of anticipating pleasure. Isn't it?
We are very close now, aren't we?
Sure, honey. Very close.
I don't see any beds yet.
Well, keep looking, honey. Butler said the place was furnished. It's furnished.
Anything doing?
No, sir, but look at this.
More football, huh?
Look how they smeared that quarterback. Look at his arm.
Got no time now. Go test. How about that telephone up at the Butler house? Is it working? Well, try it now. I'll wait.
Hello? Oh, yes, Miss Howard. Yeah, the phone's working fine. Very nice of you to call. Thank you. Good night. Honey, I'm going down to the car to get some cigarettes. Be back in a minute.
Okay.
Don't get lonely.
No, no. Did you get your cigarettes?
Yes, yes, I did.
May I have one?
Sure. Oh, it's the most amazing things. These cigarettes come in these very small packages these days.
Oh, that's for me?
Mm-hmm.
Can I open it?
Oh, no, no, no. Our Christmas is day after tomorrow.
Is that an order?
Yes, ma'am, that's an order.
Bill, someone's calling from Butler House.
Okay, put him on.
Go ahead now.
Mr. Carter?
I'm not Carter.
Who is this?
The owner.
Butler.
I'm worried, Sheriff. Carter's not here.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
I can't. I'm sick. Can you come here?
What is it? What's wrong?
His car is here, but he's gone. Won't you come?
Okay, okay. Now you stay put in that house.
I'll wait for you. Please, hurry. I'm afraid.
Now take it easy. I'm coming.
Mr. Butler, are you done?
I've come back.
What's that?
I want to see you again.
Hello? Who is this?
You know me, Tess. It's Mary Ann. Tell the mayor. Tell them all. I'm waiting in my father's house. Tess. It's so lonesome here. Don't be long.
Hello? 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 Oh my God, where is everybody?
Hello?
Oh, Maggie, thank goodness.
What is it, Tess?
Something's come up. Something urgent. Can you start early?
Oh, honey, I'm watching TV.
Maggie Daly, you get yourself over here.
What is it?
Just get moving, Maggie. Just please, hurry. Come in. It's open. Okay, mister, that's far enough. What do you want here?
Mayor,
Try again. My father's not home. And don't move.
you want me to put my hands up?
No. Just stay there. What are you staring at?
I seem to remember you from the road.
That's why I'm holding a gun. You scare me.
Well, that makes sense.
Thanks.
Does everybody carry one here?
You can ask the sheriff when he gets here. I'll call him.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the sheriff's office is empty.
How do you know?
I was just there.
Who are you?
Jeffrey Butler.
Oh, you're the one who's selling the house.
Yes.
Have you any ID?
Come on.
Don't laugh at me. I want your ID. Some maniac escaped from Margaretville.
Okay.
Put it on the table. Now go back. California license. Lucky you.
Would you like to see my maniac card from the asylum? They give you one when you escape. There's a big scarlet M on it so people won't get confused.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry about the gun. My father's in Wilton getting your money.
All I want to do is to get into my house.
The sheriff's deputy might have a key. He's about the only one I know of.
Well, where's he?
You go down the road about 1.5 miles till you come to a white house with a white fence, and then you can't miss it.
Thanks.
That's okay.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
If I don't call back in an hour...
What?
Call the mayor or Mr. Tone and nobody else. Promise me you'll do that.
Well, sure.
Mark it down, honey, so you'll have it.
Sheriff to 301. I'm heading west on Route 5 to Butler House. You'll hear from me. What the hell? What's that light out there?
Hi.
Hi.
Did you find the deputy?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh. I was thinking, isn't your lawyer supposed to be at the house?
The door was locked. His car was there, so I borrowed it.
You mean you stole a car?
Yeah. Keeping it warm.
What if he needs it?
Let him find me. Who's coming to dinner?
Oh, Daddy. We always have dinner every Thursday. Do you want something?
No, I ate Paradise Motel.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. What about a drink?
Yeah.
It's cheap bourbon, but that's a big favorite around here. Do you want ice?
No, straight.
You look tired.
I am tired.
Well, here's to a fast dollar.
Cheers.
Why did you decide to sell the house?
Needed the cash.
After all these years?
I need it now.
Huh. What's it like on the inside? You know, I've never seen the inside. When I was a child, my father told me to stay away from it, for something terrible might happen. Sort of like a haunted house.
I haven't seen it either.
You're going to sell it? You've never seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too bad. It's about the only place to see around here. Oh, I forgot. Someone keeps calling with a message for my father. She says that she's waiting at your house, in the reception room.
What woman is waiting in my house in the reception room?
Oh, I don't know. It's not a voice that I know.
I better go out there.
Can I come too?
What for?
I'm pushy. I suppose you'll be going back to California soon. California? You said you lived there, remember?
No, I'll be traveling.
Jeff, look. It's the sheriff's car. There's a light. Look at that tombstone. Pretty cheerful.
Who bears the cross shall wear the crown. Wilfred Butler. My grandfather.
Oh.
Someone left their sunglasses in the snow.
They're the sheriff's.
My lawyer's missing. So is the sheriff. You get strange phone calls. And now someone's fascinated by my grandfather's grave.
Let's get out of here.
You still want to go to my house?
Yes. But I don't want to go alone.
Listen.
I'm not nervous.
Well, of course you're not.
Oh, it's the cold. I'm shaking from it. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
We'll get help in town. It's 10 minutes drive.
Night, Mr. Toman. Have a nice holiday.
Deputy's not here, but Toman is.
Who's Toman?
Come on, you'll see. Mr. Toman, wait. No, please, I have to talk to you. I'm sorry. This is Jeffrey Butler. He's the one who's selling the house. He can't get inside the place. And my father's gone to Wilton. So we wondered...
Anything wrong?
He'll tell us. Tess has gone to his house.
Why would she go there?
I don't know. Anyway, she won't get in. You say it's locked. He says she hates the place.
Would you like to drive there? Diana could stay here, lock herself in.
I need a key.
Oh, man, this isn't my house. It's Tess's.
Well, Tess isn't here. Are you satisfied? She must have gone to my place. Well, why wouldn't she go there? She hates it. Maybe she went to see the woman who's there. Someone called the mayor's house before. Said she'd be waiting. What is it?
Hello, Jeff? Hello? Is anybody there?
Who is this?
I'm Diane Adams. I spoke to you before.
Bring your father to the house. This is Marianne. Tell him I have the diary. I'm waiting.
Who are you?
He'll know. Christmas Eve, 1935.
Hello? Hello?
704, signal 10, 704, C Charlie. 704, signal 10, 704, C Charlie.
Sheriff, I saw your car. Bill? Is that you?
Tess, you can't see me, but I can see you. Oh, yes, I remember that face. You're older now, and fat, but still Tess. And you're frightened, aren't you? Don't be afraid. I want to help you. Take my hand. Take it, Tess.
The person on the telephone said 1935, Christmas Eve. But that's not the beginning. In 1927, Butler House was restored by Wilfred Butler. After that, I find social notes, parties, nothing special. Then, in 1930, Butler's wife, Catherine, dies of tuberculosis. In August 1933, it starts. Wilfred Butler's daughter is cruelly attacked and raped. Her name is Mary Ann, the same name as the caller who left those messages tonight. She's 15 then. On May 2nd, 1934, Mary Ann Butler gives birth to a son, Jeffrey Butler. Jeff. Early in 1935, Butler House is turned over to a Dr. Robinson as an asylum for mental patients. And then Butler goes on to say that he has committed his own daughter. Mary Ann will live at the asylum. There's no end to this story. It's been carefully cut out of all the papers. Why would Toman do that? scared me. Oh, what happened?
What happened is, Tess has 40 bird cages. Toman is hysterical. Everybody's at my house but me. It's cold outside and you forgot to lock the door.
Joe, how old are you?
How old am I? You mean, how many years have I lived?
No. There's a lot in the paper about your family.
I don't want to talk about my family.
Wait a minute. There's a woman calling, and she says her name is Mary Ann. That was your mother's name, wasn't it?
My mother died in childbirth. That's when I started traveling.
It's not what the papers say.
What's your point?
I just thought that you should read something for your own good.
Nothing you could tell me about my past or future would be for my own good. Where is the paper?
It's on the table.
It's so stupid to lie. I missed the whole event.
Jeff, maybe your mother's still alive. Maybe she's waiting for you at the house.
I don't know. Come on. No more side trips. Let's go out there.
It's empty. Jeff, look!
Stay back!
It's Toman!
Stay back!
He's dead. His hands. Somebody cut off his hands.
You killed him. You killed Toman.
He's asking for help.
You killed him.
Get in the car.
Butler House.
The keys. He took them.
Yes, what?
This is Marianne Butler. I'm calling from my house. Won't you come over here, Mr. Mayor? We're having a reunion. Everyone's here, even your daughter.
I write this knowing that no one shall ever see it. Not my beloved daughter, or even my grandson, Jeffrey. I write for myself in the hope of forgiveness, if that is still possible. And I write for you, Marianne, whose youth and innocence I have destroyed. By 1935, the doctors had treated my daughter for a year. I had believed they could cure her. The child, Jeffrey, was taken from us and sent to California. I turned my house into an asylum. I brought doctors to live there. I welcomed other patients. Useless. All of it. I remembered what she had been. There was never a lovelier, happier child.
Ladies and gentlemen, now quiet, please. I propose a toast. Doctor, please.
By Christmas of the first year, I knew that I must act, not for myself, but for my helpless child.
Led him to create this institution. Our friend...
I had no plan. All I knew was that I must take her from these men with their promises, their lies.
Shall we? For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
I knew that they would gorge themselves into a stupor that afternoon. It was their celebration. I expected no less. Since they had come into my house, they had acted as if they owned it. They had behaved like poor relations, half guilty, but finally unable to control their appetites. After dinner, they danced and drank as they usually did. All the time, Robinson would smile and reassure me. They expected me to believe, because I had no choice. Wilfred, trust me. He really believed Marianne would be well. He saw a light. There is a light at the end of a long tunnel.
Believe me. There is a light at the end of a long tunnel.
Stay here, Doctor. I'll get more champagne. He was ready. I knew it. Drunk and fat and full of his own importance. I left then. My cruelty to Marianne was inhuman. I know that. I had loved her. I had fathered our child, Jeffrey. I had brought her to this. But I swear that on that afternoon, all I wanted was to save my child. My hope was to get her away from that house. But also, I wanted to set free those other wretches who had so long been abused by the doctors. I knew what they might do if these inmates were freed. And this is my guilt. I knew, and still I freed them. After the inmates started for the house, I went to get our car to take Marianne away. I do not know exactly when she slipped away from me. I assume that when they saw her in the dining room, the inmates believed her to be part of that household which they hated. And so, they killed her. Later, there was a celebration. And then most of the inmates fled. I don't know where. But I shall never forget what they did to my child. Since that Christmas, I have lived in prisons and asylums. Lived anonymously, as an animal. I have wandered in bitterness until all seasons have become as one. And that is a season of vengeance.
Jeff. Jeff?
Wilfred Butler is still alive. This is still his house.
Your grandfather died in 1950. He was burned to death in this house.
My grandfather poured gasoline over a squatter he found here. The town wanted to believe he was dead. They still do. This house was an asylum. There was a massacre by the inmates. Tess, Toman, the sheriff. Your father.
No.
All inmates. They killed my mother in this room.
Who's that? Who's there?
Daddy? Daddy?
Diane?
Jeff? Jeff? No. No. Jeff, why? Why?
Sorry.
Marianne. Don't run away. Don't. I'm your father. Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Please. It's all right. I won't hurt you. I need you. I want to see you. I waited for you.
I spent that night weeping. By morning, there were no more tears. I know that my father and Jeffrey both thought they were shooting at killers, but they were simply the last victims in that house of victims. And now, a year later, they will tear down Wilfred Butler's monument. But they can never destroy my memories of what happened here.